Hello everyone. This is the next section on the video series, and that's where we're going to be building a spool and a bobbin. A spool is what I use to put my reclaimed wire on, or before I spin it, I'll usually spin it onto a spool like this. It consists of just the PVC innards, and then these two yellow pieces on the outside are actual pressure caps that they use for plumbing and PVC. You can buy them. They're about 10 cents each. They're not expensive at all. Really cheap. You get them in a variety of sizes. These are two that I've had kicking around for a while, so I'm going to use these just to reclaim them. And then this is the actual PVC pipe. If you can see, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller, and it's also flexible. So I like this to use for the spool because it makes it just a little bit easier, and this is always nice and clean and slick, so I usually use that. Just some good materials there. To drill the hole through the center of the spool, then I'm going to use a Forstner bit. You've heard me use those several times on my videos, and that's going to be just here in the center. Drill a hole straight through. I'll show you that in just a minute. We're also going to, after we do that, we're going to use some PVC glue, and we're going to glue that together. It's very simple to glue those together, and then they hold straight just great. You wrap your wire on it. I also do a couple of things. I drill a hole next to the core material, and then I drill a hole up next to the outer, and that's to keep our start and end finished on here so that we know which wire we're working with, and it just keeps everything straight when you have several of these kicking around. And I do a lot of reclaiming wire, so I have a lot of those laying around. The next step is going to be to actually build the spool. Now, or the bobbin. The bobbin is this piece here, and that's what I refer to it as. This is what's going to be our coil when we get finished. It incorporates the core, the outer sheathing for the insulator, and the ends. And the ends are just Lexan, which you can see here. I use Lexan because it's really strong, it's really durable, and it's easy to manipulate, and it's very tough. You don't ever have to worry about it. And I like to see the wrappings when I get done on the inside of the coil. Just something I like to have. The threads that are out here on the end, as you can see, that's to actually screw into my coil winding machine. It's also going to be for how we're going to test the coils. That's what's going to hold the coil, so that you can see exactly what's holding the coil, so nothing's around it, so you can verify the power readings that we're going to get after that. So that's why I use this threaded. And how I make that is very simple. I just got a piece of threaded pipe. This is the other section of that pipe, and it was about this long, and then I cut it down. It already comes pre-threaded on each end, so that makes it really easy for us. And of course it's hollow right now. We're going to use a piece of gigantic all thread here, and that's going to be our core material. And as you can see, it does not fit inside of our pipe right now, and that's because I want to thread this inside of it so we get as much contact as we can. Then after we do that, then you'll notice something here, that this size and this size are not the same. And that's because this has been machined down so that I have a very, very thin wall up against our core material. And that helps for the magnetic inductance. So you can see how thick our wall is right now. We're going to mill that down, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. It's very, very simple. So that's pretty much all the steps that we're going to have. The only other piece of machinery that you do need to have is a drill press. And you can have any size drill press, a small drill press or a large drill press. And I'll show you the one that I'm using just for this right here. It's just a very simple little tabletop unit. Very, very simple. This is also the same unit that I'm using to test the coils out, because it gives me a definite RPM that we can confirm on the RPM, and it's the same every single time. So that's really all we're going to be up against here, and then I'm going to show you step by step how to put all the bobbins and all the spools together, and that's going to be in another video. But this is just to get you started on what parts we're going to need. Also is a hole saw, and the hole saw is what we're going to use to cut the ends on our spool, and then we'll drill the hole straight away through. And I'll show you how to do all of that. It's very, very simple. And we're going to use our drill press for all of this, and it'll be very simple to use. If you don't have a drill press, then you can use a hand-corded drill as well. So any type of hand-corded drill will work fine. I don't recommend any particular brands, and I'm not a spokesperson for any brands. So if you happen to see a brand name, it's just because that's what I'm using at this time. I use a lot of reclaimed materials as well. But look forward to the next video series, and thank you.